that takes place, and the people, you know, the Arabs really do, the Bedouin Arabs, the people in the Saudi royal family love horses and horse races and gambling, even though Islam says you're not supposed to. Yeah.
What is this thing? Where do they have camel racing? They use these little kids as camel jockeys, I heard.
You ask some questions that are off the wall.
I know.
I can't really answer them, so I know you're ruminating. I know you're ruminating, and I'll leave you with that, but I can't answer this.
The camel trap.
Well, wherever. The point is, it's not necessarily what we're talking about, but there is a thing here about horse racing and getting angry about cheating in horse racing. I think there's some killing that goes on over that, too. But these are really interesting stories. And you see how that story illustrates the Marua virtues? And I think that's Arabism, that's not Islamicism. And I think these things, you have to understand when you're dealing with the Arab world, you're dealing with a conflict between Arab behavior patterns. Here are these Saudi chiefs who like horses, who like what are those hawks, hawk falconry, things like that, all these sports, gambling, things that they're not supposed to, that's forbidden in Islam. And so it's a war in their character between Islam and Arab cultural patterns. And that's going to continue as we move up through the Prophet and his descendants and the various caliphates that are going to develop warring elements of the Arab persona and the Islamic persona. Now, I mentioned this breaking of the dike at Ma'arib. That will help us get over into the, I can't find things very easily because I don't have my notes in this particular collection, but I'm going to look for my old collection and see if I can find it. But that will help us get over into the,
page 17.
Yeah, I see where it is. It goes all the way back to 13 and the culture of the Southern Arabians. That'll help us get over into the birth of the Prophet next time. I'm going to do a little bit of this and then let you go. Next time, bring your Qurans, because we'll start to look at the Quran, because we'll start talking about the birth of the Prophet. But first, this background here. We have on page 14, Qahttan was the ancestor of the Southern Arabs. And his grandson was the founder of Ma'arib, there it is, and the builder of the famous dike there. So these are genealogies of the South. Himyar is the Himyarites, which is another name here. All this Himyaritic culture, in fact, for Sab and all the different things in the Southern Arabian sphere, Sabaeans, Himyarites, and so on. And he gets the lordship over this area. And there are a lot of Sabaean kings. That's the area, Sheba, Southern, Himyar is part of that area. Up to this dike thing. From a few miles southwest of Ma'arib, the mountains draw together. And in the summer it's dry. But because they wanted to pasture the flocks and for agriculture, they built this very impressive water system in Ma'arib. And then going on here, they think that this is on page 16 going to last a long time, but there was a big flood like in New Orleans here, and finally the dike was broken and overflown and so on. And then he goes into the history of the kings or rulers of the Himyar, the southern Arabs here at this point, originally Sabaeans, but now Himyarites. And the leaders here are called Tubas. Tubas. These are the leaders of the Himyarite kingdom, or the southern Arab kingdom. And similarly, among the Tubas, we find the Queen of Sheba. That's a little bit earlier, but in any case, the Ethiopians value that, and we'll talk about next time. But the big legend of the Tubas is this Asad Kamil, page 19. Asad Kamil. And we're going to use him to move us up to the birth of the Prophet, because Asad Kamil, this is about the 400s, the ruler in southern Arabia, is going to convert to Judaism. And that's not a very far cry by the 6th century, the conversion to Islam. So first there's going to be a conversion in these areas to Judaism. So you wonder how the Prophet will have come in contact with all of these traditions that we see in the Quran. I think you'll see it's quite understandable how he came in contact, aside from angelic intercession, with all these traditions. So pick up there next time. We should now get into the Quran. I know it's slow, but I think it's good for you. And I think if you can find that horse race story quickly, I couldn't put my finger on it. Call to my attention next time, and we'll read that one before we get into the tubas, and then we'll get into the birth of the prophet. That's it.